I think we might have done it.
Time's up. Let's do this.
A successful
We're in for
clap.
a wild night.
Welcome to episode 212 of Born to be Wild, a wild and wild adjacent Hearthstone podcast where we have fun, hanging out with friends, talking about the wild and wild adjacent formats of the Hearthstone community, spotlighting everybody who either loves wild or twist or anything Hearthstone adjacent. Guess what? Arena as well. I'm your host, Hydralisk. It's great to be back on this beautiful Friday evening here in the greater Vancouver area. I am stoked to be back with one of my best buddies, ElectricSheepCity.
Meowdy. So for those of you joining us for the first time, welcome aboard. We record this podcast live every Friday evening at twitch.tv/BornToBeWildHS. And the video version of this podcast is posted to YouTube shortly thereafter. Audio versions are also distributed to all of the podcast apps. So however you are watching, listening, or absorbing via osmosis this podcast today, thank you. Yes, you.
Before we get into the main topic of the show, I'd like to say a quick thank you to the patrons of our show. Your support means the absolute world to us. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and comment on this video on YouTube. Other simple ways to support the show is to leave a review on your podcast platform of choice. If you're watching live on Twitch, we've got some awesome emotes that you can unlock by subscribing to the channel. This is free if you use Amazon Prime. Finally, if you'd like to support the show financially, you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. We have some channels in the Discord that are unlocked by subscribing to the Patreon, where you can see the show coming together each week. Come check it out. If you'd like to interact with us personally, please join our Discord, a live, free, amazing online community of friends all across the world who love talking about wild Hearthstone. Links to all this stuff and more can be found, including our merch, which can be found on our website, which is www.borntobewildhs.com. Electric Sheep City.
Hello.
How was your week?
My week was okay. So first on the personal side, before diving into the Hearthstone, I had a really long day of work and I'm finishing, or week of work, and am finishing up the grad program course, like the final of this course. Still have the specialization courses after this, but this is the final for the capstone this weekend. So I've been doing like a lot of stuff for that because it's like the big thing.
That's the thing.
But in between those big things, I played myself some Hearthstone. I did not actually get Legend and Twist this past season. And you know, it's not because I wasn't playing the mode. The Blizzard guy mentioned it on Walk to Work earlier this week, but like he was playing it quite a bit too and couldn't seem to find the edge. And I completely resonated with that. Like I was playing quite a bit of it, and I'd get like up to like D3. I think at one point I was like low D2, and then I'd just fall all the way back down to the rank floor, and then I'd like climb like right back up. You know, like it's just that it was all consecutive, the back and then up and down. Had a lot of fun doing it, but I also feel like, you know, I had 10x. I know what playing at 10x feels like. It's not being able to find the edge is just kind of weird because I've been finding games that hasn't been that kind of an issue. But I've also, I finished up a night's work on the grad program stuff. It was about an hour until server reset. And I was like bottom of D5. So I was like, okay, there's an hour left. There's no way I'm getting Twist Legend. It's just not happening. But I have 11x on my alt account. And I'm D3. So, I mean, I'm gonna sign up for this one. I start playing. I get to final boss number 1 because I have 11x. You know, I'm at full 3 stars. So if I win this one, okay. But if I lose one, I can still win and go into legend, right? So first final boss.
Let's go.
I just lose. Like it's not particularly close, and it happens sometimes. Second final boss. I am like, I'm not gonna say sailing through, but like I'm very clearly winning by this point. And they just start roping. They just start like not.
Okay.
Yep.
Is this good or is this bad?
I win the game.
Oh.
But it is after 1 o'clock my time, which means it is after midnight Pacific, which means that I did not get legend in that alt account either. But I maintained 11x. I just didn't play a ton on it, but I played enough to get to the final boss, like that close.
What time did you hit? What time was it?
So I did not hit legend at all. Because of the time.
Gotcha.
And so whenever I won the game,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was after 1 a.m. Server had reset.
What a butt face. It's like they had a thing against you.
And I've heard of people doing this thing like in high legend.
way.
Like super duper high legend with people who are going for finishes.
Like a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Like they used to. I know when it was for like points back in the day, but
yeah, this is just to hit legend, and I'm assuming that they had hit legend and could see that I hadn't, and so they were just like, no. But I'm not even playing like the top tier meta deck or anything like that. This is, you know, server reset, right? Perils in Paradise is out. I have Perils of Paradise cards in my Zarimi Priest. You can see one in my hand right there. Gorgon Zormu is in my hand. Just, you know, not a meta tyrant, just being roped out. The worst.
Well, I'm sorry, Sheep.
I kept the 11x. I'm not too worried about it. The worst part of it is just like not getting that extra. I think it's an epic that you get for hitting legend. Since that's my free to play account, that actually is like, oh man, I missed out on that. But that's the only thing I'm worried about for that one. In Wild post reset, I'm now playing some Pirate Demon Hunter. Which
you mean Yahar Demon Hunter?
That is what I have called it. Yeah. I feel like this is very close to being like the established deck. I think that I'll probably make some just like sheep changes. I don't know that I'm going to be like, these are the better build, because I kind of doubt that that's the case, but they're going to be more sheep changes. Yeah. This is what I've been playing with so far and been having a lot of fun. So mana burn is great whenever it's like, you know, I'm about to push in for lethal. I'm against a mage. It's turn 4. I'd already popped their ice block before they're going into 4 mana. You play mana burn. They're going into 4 mana. They don't have the coin. They're at 2 mana. They cannot play their second ice block. You win.
So gross.
Yeah.
It's so gross. I hate mana burn, but I understand.
But of course, other than that, it's got a lot of the new pirates, hence it being a thing when it wasn't before. So of course, Patches the Pilot, incredible. Got the Sigil of Skydiving, summon 3/1/1s. You play that, or you know, obviously Perfect World, you're going to play Treasure Distributor 1. Those come up. Treasure Distributor never lives, but you still do it. Like, if they take care of the Treasure Distributor, they would have later anyway. You take the gamble. But then on turn 3, while they're summoned, so you just summon these charging pirates, so your opponent hasn't had a chance to interact with them yet. You play either the Hosen Roughhouser, which gives them all +1/+1 when they attack, or you get down the so that's the 3-drop that has that effect. The Adrenaline Fiend, everyone that attacks your hero gets attacked. So you not only have the 3 charging damage from the pirates, you have your 3 charging damage from your face on turn 2 plus the board. It's just like, yes, this is exactly what I want to be doing.
Oh, so good. Cool.
It's just that kind of embiggen feeling, but it's an embiggen aura type thing. Love it. So this is what I've been playing so far in Wild and been having a blast with it. I am Diamond, I think 8, and I've just played like, casually, like just jamming the games. So it's been a blast so far. It is only the second, and just I want to keep playing Pirate Warrior. Or not Warrior, Pirate Demon Hunter. I do want to go back to playing Pirate Warrior. I would really like to go back to playing Pirate Warrior if only like Raid the Docks was viable again. Whenever they revert things, I want old reverts too. Like at the change, whenever we get, the standard cards into Wild, I really want to see some like old reverts too.
Nelly cool. And Raid the Docks. Like
right?
That whole thing. Like, come on.
Yeah. And I think that Nelly may have been at one point. Had she? Maybe not.
Didn't it make everything one after? I can't remember. I don't know.
And I think it does again.
It does it? Okay, well then do that and Raid the Docks.
Yeah. Let's raid those docks back. So that is what I have been doing and will be doing this week, on top of course, finishing up that grad initiative, Hydra. In your week, my friend, how was that thing? Tell me about Hydraland.
Hydraland this week was month end at work, because it is now August 2nd that you're listening to this. So on Wednesday, that was the 31st, and that is when we were jamming in as much things as possible out the door, as much production, quality, everything. So Monday through Wednesday was absolutely nuts. Actually, we worked on, I specifically didn't come in on the weekend, but my crew did come in on the weekend to wrap things up, and then early in the week to get stuff done. It was really insane to try to hit the numbers that we're supposed to hit. So just, you'll hear every 4 weeks on this podcast, you'll hear me say this. So it's just a big thing every single time. But, and then also this week, I am on week 10 of my frontline leadership program. So I was doing that today. So I was online doing that, and it's a blast. I really enjoy doing it. We get put in these cohorts, in these breakout rooms, other people like worldwide, and we're talking to people dealing with other leadership issues and how to be the best managers we can be. And it's super fun, in all honesty, like talking with people that are in Australia or in, Texas, in Mexico, in Ontario, and just we're all like collectively helping each other. It's super cool. I'm really enjoying that, and that's been a blast. As as someone who's a newer bossy Hydra, I'm really appreciating that, like the program that I'm in. It's super cool. And then in the wonderful world of Hearthstone, I started this month off with basically 9-acts in all formats. Nice. There is no upper or lower. I've got like 9-acts in Twist, Standard, and Wild. So could be better, could be worse, I guess. So I'm just gonna ride that wave, and that takes you to Diamond, right? So we'll go from there. Either way, I did see a couple things floating around with this Pirate Shaman deck, which is weird to me, but I have played it. It seems janky. I'm not gonna lie. it seems janky. Like, I feel like there's better ways to play pirates. I will try it more. But I don't think it's the best way. I do not think that going forward we're going to see Pirate Shaman as a top tier deck. I could be crazy. It just seems janky to me. It looks like you have something to say about this.
I think just running the you don't need to run a ton of the Demon Hunter ones to make it. The way that I see it is kind of two different things. It's like, do you want the Demon Hunter cards? Cool. I feel like that's what you're playing for, and the cookie is just like a thing that you have to include in the deck that can be a high roll thing. So if you're facing off against like a Miracle Rogue, right? Like they get an 8/8 down that you can kill with your board. Guess what? Kill it off and drop the cookie. You've played, all of these little 1-drops into it. And then Cookie, when they die, if Cookie's on board, it upgrades them. So, this 1-drop is now 2-drop. This 1-drop is now 2-drop. If you've played the Sigil of Summoning, so you get the Sigil of Skydiving, rather. You get the 3/1/1, like, charging pirates. And then you play the Cookie. Like, it's just like, all of a sudden, if I have to trade, boom. You don't feel bad about it, and you have a sticky board.
There's also versions that are playing ship's cannon, ones that aren't. I mean, I think it's all up in the air right now with this deck, and I'm all there for it to explore. Like, if I can play Shaman and get some wins with some pirates, super cool. It still seems a little off for me. I don't know. I think that Rogue is still the way to go at this point in time if we're going to be jamming pirates. But we'll see. Time will tell. Other than that, I've just been obviously in standard jamming the pirates where I can with Demon Hunter, because why wouldn't I? Right. So that's super fun. And then in Warcraft Rumble, we got Molten Core back. So Blister Guy and I this week, we've been doing our thing where we've been trying to jam the boss battles in when we can. And we took day one, we beat the first 4 bosses, which was amazing. I didn't think it was going to happen. So Sheep, they buffed like everything. And like nerfed, basically they buffed the bosses and nerfed our stuff. And so Blister Guy and I were like, oh my gosh, like, I think we'll be okay, but we'll see what happens. And it's a little bit brutal, in all honesty. So we beat the first 4 just fine, beat the 5th one, cool. But now we're stuck at this point because there's 7 bosses total. Mm-hmm. And we don't know if we're going to finish the last 2 at this point, because they've buffed them so much that it's kind of ridiculous and nerfed what we used to use on them. Mm-hmm. So don't know if it's going to happen, but it's still a fun experience. We still meet up and we do our battles each night. And if you have not tried Warcraft Rumble, it's super fun. It really is. It could be another addiction, just like Hearthstone. It really can. It's so funny because like you unlock the same characters, right? But like in a different way, and you use them in like different means. You got your heroes just like you have in Hearthstone, and building your team is super neat. I mean, I enjoy it quite a bit. But enough about that. Let's talk about some news.
Welcome to the news. The news is so good.
Sheep, tell us about the China server returning.
Well, Hydra, did you know that that the China server had closed before? But it's coming back on September 25th. Yeah, so China server folks will be able to return. We always wondered what they were going to be able to do to like regain their collection. And my tinfoil hat theory was that that's what the ketchup packs were for. That's why they invested in the ketchup pack technology, as it were. No, they're giving everyone on the China server all of the 2023 cards for free, including the golden ones. Just like, hey, you missed this year. You couldn't buy stuff. Like, you couldn't get the collection. You have it.
So what about before, I guess? Like, is it everything up and including 2023 or the year of?
So it's the year of 2023. I can't tell from the post because I do not read the language that the only like official source was from. If it says like if they get their accounts back, that would be my guess, but I don't know. So if they had an account before and were playing Wild, right, they get the stuff that they missed out on for 2023. And then they, still have their Wild collection and can build from there, is how I would think.
Yeah.
But if they didn't get a Wild collection, I don't know if they're going to be able to, just convert those or not their collection. So either way, we'll see how that particular thing goes, but it's back. They can play. They're going to be able to get a new coin and card back. We don't yet know if it's obtainable for the other servers. So
dude, this coin is so cool.
The coin is kicking rad.
It's like a rose or something. Like it looks awesome. Sweet.
So I'm very glad that they're getting that thing. I really hope at some point I will be able to attain that thing because I think that thing is cool. But I'm very glad that they're getting it regardless.
We can't have it all, Sheep. We can't have it all.
But, it'd be nice.
This is true.
Also, because the China server is returning, the Masters Tour the 2024 Masters Tour World Championship is expanding. So they're doubling the number of qualifiers from 8 to 16. So there were 8 before, 16.
Yeah.
That's double. Those are not all coming from the China server. So the top 4 players from the China qualifiers and then 8 based on points from the ladder rankings will join the champions and runner-up of the spring and summer Masters tours and a showdown for their share of the prize pool, which is up to a grand total of $500,000 from whatever it was before. China being back means that the esports budget has expanded. It would seem like, I mean, they have double the people and like, is it, I think double the cash? Like, okay.
Remember the time that we could contribute to this? Which was nice.
Yes. So Masters Tour is expanding in both weight and amount of Hearthstone competition. Love to see that.
For sure.
Well, Hydra, I believe that you have a plush of our next topic. So tell me a little bit about checking the in-game shop for free gifts.
Well, if you look now in your in-game shop, you can see that Hearthstone Brew is actually a free golden legendary that you can grab now. So originally this is something that came in a bundle, and Play Hearthstone decided, hey, let's just give it to everybody, right? So it came, if you purchased the diamond version, you also got the golden version in the same thing. And if you're playing the diamond one, why would you play the golden one? It didn't make any sense to, kind of pay for both. So they just gave us the gold version for free, which I think is pretty sweet. Thank you, Play Hearthstone.
Though I will say, our buddy Ray does prefer to play with golden cards. So I believe that he may have actually bought the golden diamond for the golden. So I feel a little bad for him for that one.
Well, yeah, I know, because he always wants the full gold list when he makes his screenshots. Yeah. Rip Ray.
I do feel bad for him, but it is funny. But I can feel two things at once. I feel bad for him, and it's funny.
No, it's so true, right? Oh, free things. Sucker, you paid for that.
I paid for it too.
I didn't buy it. Now I have it for free. Cool. Because it was part of you had to buy the diamond one, and it came with like 4 or 5 packs or something, and then you got the golden version.
I don't even remember if it came with packs.
Yeah, I thought it came with maybe a couple, but either way, I've discussed this in the past. I engage with this game a little bit differently than I used to. I used to be, oh my God, I'm going to buy that, buy this, everything. And around a year and a half ago, I started to kind of only buy the packs. I have many hero portraits. I've got some signature cards. Actually, I think the signature cards is what started me on the path of not buying everything, because the drop rates were, in my opinion, a little ridiculous. And I was like, yeah, how about no? Sorry. My opinion, how about no? I'm not going to do it. I'm just sorry. And I prefer a full collection to, digging deeper for the special ones. I love gold cards. I sent you the screenshot. I think I did it in Discord. I know that you guys have a little bit higher, but I had no idea that I have 3,500 golden cards in my collection. That is ridiculous.
That's more than 2.
That is a lot more than 2. And it's been a year and a half, almost maybe 2 years since I stopped. So now when I get, I open my collection, and if I can disenchant a gold card to make a legendary or whatever, I do that now. I didn't used to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kept them, and I kept them, and I kept them. And the fact that I have 3,500 gold cards is a little bit crazy to me, really, at this point. And then it's so funny because Schmoopy Daddy, he responds, right? And he's got 5,000 or something. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Because it's so funny because we act like the whales, right? And then he's this wonderful man, but playing catch up at this point. And I'm like, how the hell do you have 5,000? What did you do, Schmoopy Daddy? How did you get to 5,000 that fast? Yeah.
And I was like, holy wow. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, I had more.
and you had 7,000. Well, that's fine. I know that you're a whale. I understood that. I knew that you kept going. We all knew you kept going. It's just a funny thing that Schmoopy Daddy had so many. I was okay with your result. I did not know that Schmoopy Daddy had so much. That was an eye opener. That was so funny.
Mine wasn't nearly so high until they introduced the upgrade feature. Because okay, if I'm going to, make a golden legendary, for example, am I going to disenchant the one that I had, get 400, and then pay 3,200? So net paying of 2,800? Or, upgrade, it's 1,200. I mean, that saved a lot of dust. I have by far the fewest like number of the regular ones, but I have the highest number by far of the golden ones because of the upgrade feature now.
Yeah, my regular is sitting at like 9,000 out of 10,000. Like I still have a ridiculous amount of duplicates, actually.
Yeah.
I could probably do a lot of deleting of duplicate regulars and make goldens, and I'm sitting on like tens of thousands of dust, which is fine. Not complaining. Like if I wanted to like min-max make gold things, I probably could, but I feel like I'm like sitting on all this dust because like maybe they'll come out with, I don't know, what's beyond signature? Something where I can craft something. So I'm just holding on to whatever I have. You never know.
Neon sign.
They're like 100,000 dust. You get neon version of one. I pick patches. I pick patches.
Yes.
If you unnerve him, please.
Hey, if you upgrade him to neon, Patches has got charge again, buddy.
Oh, that would be amazing. You need 100,000
Pay to
dust,
win.
and you get unnerved patches, neon patches. He's 1-1 with charge, 100,000 dust.
Talk about pay to win, though. That would be a legitimate one.
I'm all for it.
Yahar.
Yahar. All right, so what would you like to dive into our discussion topic?
Yeah. And I went back and forth on whether we should talk about this week or next. And I think that it's most appropriate this week. So, there have been a few things that happened or didn't happen over the past month for us both. Milestones that we typically hit. Legend and Twist for me. You got to the D9, or the D, what was it that you had on all of them? Was it 9? I know
neither of them was Legend, so let's go with that.
But we're still having fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I played probably, I'm not going to say more Hearthstone in the past month, but like a lot of Hearthstone, the same amount, which is more than most people do. Twitch. And I was still trying to attain these things, but it didn't happen. And I think that's okay as long as I still enjoyed the ride getting there. And honestly, for me, I enjoyed the twist mode, but not as much as I think I wanted to. So I'd play like, in a given night, like, at least 5 games, but I wouldn't necessarily like do like a grinding session, right? I'm having fun with it, but I'm not feeling the need to like keep on playing with it. I really hope that, honestly, that we get another deck building twist challenge next. I think that these ones with the pre-made decks are fun to have for like a month or two. I gotta say, after having it for a couple months, I hope that we don't get this as all it is, which is not what Twist has been before, right? I hope that I know that whenever this very first happened, like a lot of people were saying, "Oh, I hope this is just what Twist becomes." And it's like, I'm okay with it being this some of the time. Honestly, I hope it isn't this all the time, because I think it would, be more like Classic was. Like, we hit Legend and Classic a couple times. Then we didn't a couple times afterwards, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah. If this is all that it is, like, will I play it? Sure. Will I hit Legend every month? No. Well, I'll play it.
I'm stoked that they I think with Classic, it was interesting that they're like, we know you don't want it, but we'll give it to you anyway. Here you go. And then, like, just let us have it. And we're like, yeah, And we're like, yeah, it sucks. You're right. We're wrong.
And the bots were like, yeah, a place that never changes.
Right? A stable meta where we can farm XP and gold. Sweet.
And how many legends would there be in casual? Like, it was super casual. In classic, it was super high, like tens of thousands.
Yeah.
But it was, a wasteland of bots.
It was. It really was.
Which is kind of fun to just beat up on sometimes, not gonna lie. Like, I would play classic still, but it's not my daily driver. Which for me is really sad about this past twist, because you know how like before I was always like, yeah, I love playing twists. Like, oh, I was experimenting with this and that and this and that. And it was like my primary game mode. And now it's like, if this is what it was, I'd play it.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you say that twist is kind of your favorite mode, but that's got to be something that's in flux, because it can't always be, especially when it's pre-built decks.
Exactly.
So when it reverts to something that, we need to use our noggins and, start thinking about what we're going to play, sub this in, sub that in, that kind of thing. Like, we can actually, especially you, I know that you, like, let's go back. Let's insert
Rewind.
the rewind thing all the way back to like 4 years ago of Sheep. We did your mech paladin deck like 4 years ago that you basically started. I mean, at least mainstreamed, right? We featured it on the show and you were innovating and you were doing that. And that was a thing. And you were super proud of it. And we had you on the show originally, like, welcome to Born to Be Wild, right? And like, it was so cool to like highlight your deck. And then it became a huge thing and people liked it. And it was just super cool. But when you're doing this twist thing where everything's pre-built, I mean, it's not happening. So what?
Yeah.
I guess where I'm coming from is you are someone who is a deck builder, and you can come up with this stuff, and you will go back to Aggro Druid when no one is playing Aggro Druid. Right? So
It's not great into the current meta, but I tried it.
So we appreciate people like you, I guess is what I'm saying, right? And you can't do that currently in Twist. And I think that that's fine. In all honesty, I think it's okay because they're trying to engage different audiences. So, right, you have got one card, you can play the mode. Mm-hmm. That's neat.
I'd be really interested to see, and I haven't seen, but Firestone, things like that, to see how it like measures up numbers wise to the previous twists, right? Because I know everyone was really enthusiastic about it at first.
Yeah.
But were they still enthusiastic about it? I don't know. Like, I know I was playing it, but I mean, I was always going to be playing.
I think people are. I think it'll be a little bit different once we can build decks again, for sure.
Yeah.
This sounds bad, and I said this before, but it's basically, in my opinion, this is a ranked tavern brawl.
Yeah. And I feel like if at the end of the day, like, I know that we've all heard some like doom and gloom about the mode, like just other people saying like, oh, duels was canceled. Like, what do they do with tavern brawls right now? They just repeat them, right? They just repeat them. If the doomsayers end up being correct, which again, I hope that is not the case.
The end is coming.
I would hope that we could have like just the, rotating old ones is it as easy as that? I don't know. Like, I kind of doubt that it would be, but if they found a way to do it for Tavern Brawl, maybe if they've just got these few like ones that they're cycling through, then maybe. Because why do we not have them in the off, like old ones in the off months right now? Like there is no twist season right now. Like we can't play it. I'm sure that there's a reason. Like, do they want to just like not give us more Hearthstone content to play? I don't think so. So like, I just want to be playing it still though. Like not necessarily the past couple months of it, right? Like having those as part of the rotation. We just had those. Let's have some of the older ones. Again, I'm sure there's a reason why there's not, but it just kind of is like, where's that, you know, if I want to scratch that itch, I don't know where to go, you know? Exactly.
Yeah, they're forcing you into Battleground Sheep. You got to play more BGs.
I do need to finish my season pass because that's the one thing that I typically get for Battlegrounds. Like I don't get the cosmetic stuff for that at all anymore. That was the first one that broke me. Like I started not doing that ages ago, but I still get the Tavern Pass, the season pass thing, because you get more heroes. So you get all 4 of the heroes, but also you get a lot of the different like stuff along the way. So I'm paying one thing of 20 for like essentially an expansion's worth. And if you play the mode, then it's worth it.
For people that play the mode, totally. I think I
play
bought
the mode
it
enough.
one time.
I play the mode enough to justify it. Like I get my money's worth of it.
Yeah, I don't. No, I bought it one time and I was like, sweet. Because you remember, we used to pick from 3, right? So in beta mode, you got 3 you could choose from for free.
I don't remember.
No,
was there only one that was blocked?
No, there was nothing blocked. You got to pick from 3. And then once they added the pay feature, you got to pick from 4 if you paid, or pick from 2 if you don't. But it was 3 originally. And I played a lot of it when you could pick from the original 3. And then after that, I was like, whatever. I don't know. It's super fun. In all honesty, now I got coworkers. They're talking about it, and it's so funny. I'm like sitting in the office, and I hear people talking about BGs, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Quillbores have been nerfed." I'm like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know they're gonna come in, and I'm gonna wear my Hearthstone shirt and wear this little guy on my shoulder and see if you notice.
Yeah, look who I got.
And it's so funny, like hearing it happen. But no, BG's is massive success, honestly. Like, and I totally get why it's been monetized the way that it is. It was not monetized at all in the beginning, right? Like, here's a free mode, have fun. Holy crap, super successful. And so the fact that you have to pay to pick out of 4 heroes, yeah, it makes sense. And to get other things like emotes and skins and whatever also makes sense. Personally, I'm not paying for it, but yeah, I get it.
I wonder how successful it would have been if it had always been run like Arena. You know what I mean? Like if they were thinking about monetizing it initially, which is not what I'm saying. That obviously what they have doing now is working, but like if whenever they'd come out with it, because I feel like that was the like big changing point. Whenever they were making new modes, like duels you paid for, like Arena, did they go, oh, this is what we should have done, and then maybe duels didn't get a chance to succeed because it was like that? Or would Battlegrounds have succeeded otherwise? Because, like...
I don't know. I think it's a little crazy to me that duels died so early.
Yeah, same.
Like, Arena's been... No offense to Arena players, but it's been a pretty slow to dying mode for a very long time. But it's, like, it's OG, right?
It's OG, and it's got people who play it a lot still. Like...
The numbers aren't that high, though. If you look at it, it's not high, but I think it's the best. In all honesty, from the very beginning, it's if you can 1 + 1 = 2, it's one of the best ways to build your collection, right? Just by being good at the game.
In my free-to-play account, that's what I do. I get gold by playing the game. I don't buy anything on this other account. I get gold by playing the game. And then instead of just buying at the beginning of an expansion when you're getting a ton of gold, I just buy the new packs because I want to play with the new shinies or like get the competitive thing initially, right? Because at the end of the day, if you hit legend, then you get more direct, like epic stuff like that. And the point is to have the collection, and that's what you're building for, right?
Yeah.
So at the beginning of an expansion, when you're just getting all of the things to build just the basic decks, but whenever it's like slowed down and I've hit like, I'm just trying to build the collection there, I will play arena because oftentimes I'll come out ahead of my 150 gold. Like you get pretty much a pack just for playing. So you only have to like make up 50 gold.
Technically you need 3 wins.
Yeah.
Right. They say 7 wins to break even, but it's actually 3.
Right. Yeah. Cause like 7 is like you get your money back and all the other stuff. So you don't even have to like get gold other ways. I'm not that good at arena, but I get more than my gold's worth, right? Yeah,
and don't forget that when you are 0-2, they also put you against someone who is 0-2.
They sure do.
So there's a good chance you'll get at least 1 win and you'll get like a pack out of it.
Exactly.
Because that's the minimum thing, right? You get 1 pack.
And you might get that if you don't even like win one or something.
Like, I think 0-3 you still get a pack. So you've lost 50 gold. If you get nothing, you still get 1 pack.
Yeah.
And you get experience. So think about that.
And, low roll arena runs can happen. So sometimes that will probably happen, but then high roll arena runs also happen too. So like at the end, it way evens out, especially since the break even point of what you get for it is 3 wins. Yeah.
And so if you're going to be playing arena, do not build a combo deck.
No.
But listeners, you are playing for tempo is what I'm trying to say. Only play for tempo in arena. That is all you want to do.
And there's a lot more trading in arena too, because like the board is
board based. You want a curve, you're playing for tempo. If you have something that could be a board swing, you can select that thing too. But yes, you are playing for tempo at all times.
And I feel like the stuff that we've got for arena has been actually like pretty fun.
Dude, do you remember when Bone Mare came out? Oh my gosh, Bone Mare was like the best arena card.
It was pretty good in standard too for a hot minute.
Mini Hydra was so mad when it got nerfed.
Oh, it was so good. All to say, I think that worrying about getting to a specific rank versus just like there's so much Hearthstone.
Oh my gosh, there's so much. Yeah.
And I no longer play Mercenaries, but like I played that when it was there.
What's
too.
That? What's Mercenaries?
They were the thematic thing for one of the expansions that's now in Wild. Rokara.
Nope, don't remember.
Rokara is a great card. You don't remember Rokara? Come on now.
Yeah, no, the rush, the +1/+1. No, I gotcha.
Maybe the fact that Twist is down sometimes is not necessarily a bad thing because there is so much Hearthstone too, though. Because I've been playing Arena. I've been playing Battlegrounds. Consistently for either of those? No, but like I played at least like an arena run or 2 a month. You know, like I.
You know what? Maybe we should run out all my tickets. I've got like 20.
I ran out all my tickets. I did. But you know, they give you more tickets on the rewards track. So.
Oh no, it's like a drug.
This is. I don't even think that's the paid part of the rewards track, because I'm pretty sure I get those whenever I'm on my free to play account and I'm like, score. Like, that's at least a pack there.
They were fun for me when it was duels.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, they've been piling up forever. I have so many. I can do a stream where we just do my tickets. That actually might be a good idea.
Tickets, please.
Hold content. We're going to do a stream where we do Hydra's arena tickets.
Oh, too soon, Executus.
Yeah, not going to happen. Never know. We'll see. It's so many, though. I have so many. Like, I've been holding onto these tickets forever, and it's free content, really. Like, you get to play, you get to win, you get to... Even if you lose, you get free stuff. At this point, like, I'm just sitting on free packs that I've never cashed in.
And honestly, the way that you draft Arena now, so you start with a legendary first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of the ones that you get to choose from can be Highlander. So like, how is how is Highlander treated in Standard? It's only worried about your beginning of deck. You can sometimes get into a point where you can only pick a dupe and it's like, well, my legendary's gone. But for the most part, you can still pick a Highlander deck.
That's kind of cool, right? So let's pick a theme. We can choose our deck from there on out. People will be more likely to play it. So yeah, totally down.
And it feels, back in the day, way back in the day, it's been ages, I'd use like that.
Back in the day.
It's making my day. There was like that Hearth Arena or whatever, where it would help you. Like,
from Overwolf?
Yeah. I don't even think I have Overwolf installed on this computer because I don't use it anymore. Like, like whenever I'm drafting, I'm like looking at my deck and doing that like, it would just be like, pick this, stupid. And sometimes, is that the right thing? Maybe. But for me, like, part of the fun of Arena is choosing the deck, because like, you're choosing your own adventure. Like, what kind of deck am I building? Oh, if I'm building that together, that's part of the fun of Arena for me, is doing that.
Arena is so much fun that way because it tests your skills not only as a pilot, but as a deck builder, right? Which is kind of neat. So as you're going through and looking at your options, you may start off with your first choice is a 9 mana minion or an 8 mana minion or a 1 mana minion. Guess what? You should probably pick the 1 mana minion at this point, right? Because you're trying to build your curve. You don't start off with the 9, but you don't know. You don't know. So
what if the 9 is Frostlich Jaina? Like,
exactly, right? Or some garbage thing, right? Like it could be. So this is extremely skill testing, and guess what? If you screw it up, you still get a pack at the end, right? Like you mess up your run, no big deal. It's not the end of the world. It's super cool because so the Born to Be Wild listener series, we build these challenges where you have got to do some outlandish things, right? And sometimes people are, I guess, confused by what we're picking and doing all this stuff. But the point is that we're not trying to have a meta competition, right? We are trying to do
there's no
something
way
else.
for a meta.
To go outside of the meta. Well, guess what? Arena is outside of the meta completely. So when the Born to Be Wild listener series is not active, please click on the Arena button on your main menu and That is the Born to Be Wild listener series. It's
I
just
don't
super
know.
cool.
Some of the ones that we pick are, the Born to Be Wild listener series. If we like, what I love about it is that it's basically twist, and like you're choosing your own adventure that way too. But
I mean, it's not
more
the same, but I guess
style.
the analogy here is that if you do not want to play whatever standard is, you've got a couple options, right? You can hop into arena, you could do whatever happens to show up there when you're doing your draft, or you can do something, join the Born to Be Wild listener series and see what happens there with our wild and wacky choices that we have there. I can ask you a question.
Unrelated Advice with Electric Sheep City.
Electric Sheep City.
Hi.
It's a Friday night.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry. And I've been given a few choices based on my skip the dishes options on my phone. So I have Wendy's. I have McDonald's. I have Burger King and Fat Burger. Could you please pick for me what I should get and why?
So if your Fat Burger is like mine, it's pretty good. But I'd probably go Wendy's. Wendy's. Yeah.
What should I get?
So depending on how big you're going, you're going to get a Frosty or not. Like that's what.
No. Frosty every time. Wendy's Frosty every time.
Yep.
I think you already picked
understandable, right? Like, and then they like to, have some special things going on. I don't know what their special thing is right now. So, that's always worth considering if that's something that resonates with you. They've also got the Baconator. It's a classic. It's a classic. You get your bacon. Yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta go double with cheese, of course. I typically get mine without the onions, but I don't remember if I do this at Wendy's. Sometimes I'll get onion rings instead of fries, but onion rings to me are really subjective. Some places have really good ones. Some places it's not like it's, abhorrent or anything, but I'd rather have fries. So I forget which one Wendy's is. But you can never go wrong with fries either.
Wiser words were never spoken, and you've heard that on
Or to be wild.
Wild.
I don't know. Did you hear when I pretended to be you? It was a couple episodes ago. You were there.
Yeah, I did hear that.